Hi, I'm so excited today to be joined with Upasana Konidela. She is a profound entrepreneur and has a commitment to help women equality and increase the presence of women in the workforce. She is also the founder of Your Life, a leading digital healthcare concierge and India's largest provider of occupational health services. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure. And I think that what Unlocked is doing is so powerful. And I'm really, really happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you. So let's get started. As a prominent advocate for women empowerment, what is your view about this significant moment in history where there's the same amount of men and women athletes competing in the Olympics for the first time?
I think that it's high time.
Yeah.
It should have happened before, but I'm happy it's happening now. And women have challenged men in so many things, and why not sport? And now they're given the opportunity, they've been given the training, and I think that, this is a great platform for them to showcase that they're equal.
Now that because we're making the right steps towards gender equality, what are some initiatives that you believe will help further enhance the effort towards equality, whether in the sports world or towards any professional working women?
So I think first is that women need to change their mindset.
Okay.
Because if you can help yourself, then everything will change around you. So that's one. Second is the workplace environment, because I think that, if you make the workplace environment a bit more easy to handle, then after that, the whole balance in your life falls in place. Like for maternity leave, why should it be fixed? Why can't it be flexible? And if women have the choice to take a vacation when they can for their medical needs, for their family, and come back to work, I think that will really change how women join the workforce, actually.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. Speaking of, your company, Your Life, contributes to improving access to healthcare for marginalized communities. So how do you think that, or what is the importance of doing so? And by allowing access to healthcare, how does this help equality for women?
So what I realized was that when we were working at the grassroots levels, we realized that people needed to be financially independent, and especially women. And when they had that wealth in their hand, they immediately took charge of their health and their family's health. So this had a correlation with the happiness of the family, with the food they were eating. And this is the only way the disease burden can come down in the world. Mm-hmm. So if a woman is educated and if a woman is financially stable, the healthcare of the world will improve. So this is what I've seen. I have data and research to back it, and that's what Your Life does. So it tries to provide as many jobs to women as possible.
So, you have such a significant platform, right? So how can other women, such as yourself, other entrepreneurs, or even just women at the individual level, what are some steps that they can take to help kind of push us all towards that, next win in gender equality?
So I think gender equality is in the mind. I personally never faced it because I always knew I was powerful from the beginning.
That's amazing.
And nothing stopped me, and nothing will. My mom has 3 sisters, and we run the medical empire in India. And I think that once you have that strength in your mind, I think everything will change.
So, the Unlocked Foundation does a lot of work around wealth building, strategies for women to really close the wealth gap in their own lives. Can you describe some of the advocacy work that you've done, whether in your companies or just, as such a leader in the space, to kind of help get that financial independence that you've mentioned is so important for women?
So I think that financial independence is important for both men and women. I don't like to differentiate, but what we try and do is, we try and encourage more women to come out there. And I shouldn't be saying this, but we give them a tighter hug when they perform better.
Yeah.
But if you want to feel equal, you have to behave equal.
Okay.
So I think that, giving them opportunity is one. And I think that they'll flourish because, while when a woman comes to work in India, she manages her family also. She manages so many cultural things back at home. That's something really important. Also, another thing to consider in India is that a lot of women don't want to earn more than their husbands, and they feel shy about it. So for them to break that barrier is also something very, very big. So counseling them to show that they can be the star of their family and having supportive in-laws and supportive husbands is something that more men should learn and more women should ask in a marriage.
Yeah. So, what are some policies or reforms that you think are necessary to create, whether at a company level or, and you spoke about maternity leave and security, but how about if we kind of take a step back? Like, what are some high-level policies that we should be encouraging the government or really advocating for in order to?
Of course, insurance.
Yep.
And in India, IVF is not covered under insurance. So, the pressure of having a child as soon as you get married is really huge. But, I stored my eggs and I was very proud of it. It gave me the opportunity to focus on my career when I needed to. And now I can focus on my child. So I think that, if we could get IVF to come under insurance and more companies to encourage their employees to stay healthy, bring wellness in as part of insurance, bring more than mental health, I think it's more nutrition as part of your healthy eating habits, if they are covered, education on those, your digital gym classes, if they were covered by the insurance, I think that would do a lot of good for the community. And incentivize employees to take these classes, which will help them lead healthier lives and reduce the disease burden of countries, because I think that is the one that will help nations grow if their workforce is much healthier.
This year, a lot of athletes were, especially female Olympians, were very visible. So what do you think? I mean, we talked a lot about health, about finance, but what do you think is the importance of women coming out and these athletes really kind of stepping into their power and finding their voices? How do you think that visibility affects this movement?
I think it's amazing. And I love to see more women on social media platforms. I love the fact that they're talking about their lives. They are becoming examples for one another. They're pushing themselves to do much more. Like, I use my social media as my diary. I don't care what people comment. But the thing is that every month on month, I look at my social media and I'm like, oh, wow, this is what I did last month. I have to up it next month. So it becomes like, something to motivate me. And I really think that the athletes now, speaking about their lives, speaking about their, their routines and the stuff that they are doing is so motivating for everyone out there.
Yes.
And when the women do it, when they manage their kids, their families, their health, their sport, I think that's something that we should really look up to.
So can you talk about maybe a little bit how you do it? You're such a profound entrepreneur. You sit on multiple boards. You have a child. Like, how do you manage to kind of juggle everything?
I always, like how companies have quarterly reviews and monthly reviews, I review my life the same way. And then I prioritize what is really important for me and I concentrate on that. Right now, my child is extremely important for me. My family is really important for me. So they are the focus. And then there'll be times when my business is also the focus. I have great professionals to help me with my company and I have a great support system at home to help my family thrive. So this is how I balance both. And I'm not afraid of taking help, of seeking help. And that help doesn't have to be expensive. So people say, oh, because she's wealthy, she can afford it. It's not about that. It's about, using your networks to actually get the help and support that you need so you can thrive as a person and help your family thrive.
One of the premises of the Unlocked Foundation is your network is your net worth. So how has networking and how has your network really helped you kind of, whether in your professional or personal lives?
So I feel when women or anyone shouldn't shy away from asking, because what's the worst that could happen? Someone could just say no, and that's fine. The next door will open, but if you don't ask, then the door will never open.
Right.
So I feel that personally, networking is great. Some people don't like to use the word networking, but meeting people is a great way of learning post your formal education. So I think that that's really important. And the more people you meet, the richer you become in your mind.
Yep, that's amazing. So, today we're celebrating this victory. What would you like to see personally as the next kind of monumental step that we take as women?
Violence has to come down. We cannot afford another war. So, as women, if we can stand up and tell people that, we don't need this and we can be more caring for each other, I think that that's something that will, change the way the world looks at things. So, a woman is more nurturing. Let's create a more nurturing world. Let's become more conscious. Let's become more thoughtful about what we do with one another. So that's what I feel we need to achieve. I know I'm taking a long shot at it,
Yeah.
but this is something that I see if more women take active roles, I see the world becoming a much better place.
So if you could just, one thing about if you had one piece of advice to leave our audience with, right, on today, what is some small steps that you can take towards kind of changing that mindset, as you mentioned, is the most important? What would your advice be?
Love yourself, respect yourself, and when you do that, the whole world will change around you, because I think that's the most important. And make yourself a priority.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for having this conversation with us. I think we've all had some amazing gems out of this, and we're very excited to have you part of the Unlocked family.
Thank you so much.